Good morning, Raptor Freak Alexi Otts here. Monday morning, time for a Monday memory. Uh, Thank you for joining me today. Every morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be here, and you can find me to talk Raptors. I'm glad you're here this morning. Uh, yes, today we are reminiscing about a victory the Raptors had at home against the Milwaukee Bucks on December the 2nd of last year. It was the first victory against the Milwaukee Bucks out of three, where we swept them over the whole course of the season. They did not defeat us. The defending champion Milwaukee Bucks did not defeat the Toronto Raptors last season in the regular season. We beat them three straight. And this game was very interesting because the Bucks were on an 8-game win streak. This was still pretty early in the season. This is the 2nd of December, and they were feeling real confident. They were feeling real good about how their season had been going because they'd won 8 straight. So you know what they did? These punk asses came to Toronto and they they sat Giannis Antetokoumpo out of the game because they thought they could afford to give him a rest game against the Raptors. And he wasn't hurt. He wasn't inactive. He wasn't on any list. He just got a DNP, coach's decision, did not play. And that was, Jack even said it during this game. It's like people travel from places to come to games to see superstars, and that there may be Milwaukee fans in Canada that came from far away to the Scotiabank Arena specifically to see Giannis Antetokoumpo play. And that when somebody does that and they don't play, that's not good for the game. As Jack put it at that point, he said, maybe sit games at your own home. But when you come to other arenas where people may be coming to see you, play in those games if you're able to. Well, they got messed up because they didn't play him. I'm gonna tell you right now. If they had played Antetokounmpo, they might have won this game that I'm talking about today, but they didn't. They did not play him. And this is all right. This game is a perfect example of a couple of things. First of all, it's a very good example of why Fred VanVleet is so integral and important to the Toronto Raptors. If you go back and watch the highlights of the game I'm talking about today, you will realize why Fred VanVleet is so important to this team, because basically his veteran guidance and leadership was able to help carry the team to the win. That he was a huge factor. He was the leading scorer in the game, 29 points. He had a bunch of threes. Like, there were really pretty plays where he would be the inbounder. He'd inbound the ball to like Svi or Gary, and then he'd fly out to the corner and they would immediately throw the ball right back to him and he'd bomb a three on them. That you got to understand, go watch this game. Anybody who thinks that Fred is not worth a contract extension for a lot of money this summer, go watch this game from December the 2nd and understand exactly what he does. That he is the man who is out there leading a team against the champions to a victory. And it was close. Like, Milwaukee could have won at the end. Middleton was shooting real well. Drew Holiday was battling Fred, and it was a battle between Holiday and VanVleet, and they were boom, 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 and it was a great battle. Ooh, it was such a good battle, like that point guard battle that night. Fred was healthy. Fred was moving great, and you could see it in the game, the way he moved off the ball and caught and shot, the way he was hounding Drew Holiday all game and stuff like that. That's what I'm talking about. You see healthy Fred VanVleet. You see Fred VanVleet, the leader who can control games and help a team win. And getting back to what I talked about yesterday with these teams that have all these draft picks, when you don't have a veteran like that, you don't know how to win in the NBA. You could lose over and over and over again. You could have the most talented team, but if you have a collection of guys that don't know how to win, they ain't going to win. And that you need guys who know how to win in this league. You need pros that have done it over and over again. Pros that know every single ingredient, every intangible thing you got to do to win a game. And that is why Fred VanVleet is worth a contract extension. This game just in itself, the Milwaukee game, December the 2nd, go watch the highlights and you'll understand what I'm talking about. Now, there are other things about this game that were really, really good. They were foretelling the future. Like this game, if we could have more games like this game this season coming up, that would be badass. because that game was full of assists. That game was full of playing off of each other on the Raptors. There was so much passing going back and forth. There was bench contributions. We had really solid uh, work from guys off the bench in this game. And then we had really good balance in the starting lineup also. Scotty Barnes in particular had a really good game from the 3-point line in this game. Let me see. I got the stat box in front of me right here. Scotty was 3 for 6 from the 3-point line. He actually hit 3 threes. And if that's a portend to the future of this year, maybe we can consistently count on Scotty to hit more than 1 3 in a game. That the man's working on his shot and his 3-point shot in particular, that he is going to come back and be more productive from the 3-point line. Watch. We also saw a little bit of his little dominance down beside the basket with a little bit of a turnaround and some stuff that looked very Kawhi-like in this game. Now, the guys off the bench were fantastic. They were all over the place, whether it's Chris Boucher, Yuta Watanabe, Svi Mahalik, Delano Banton. They were all real active, and they ended up outscoring the Milwaukee bench in this game. And that was really important also, that actually got good bench production in this game, and that we didn't get that consistently all season. That we saw when we get a good consistent bench production and we have good assist numbers, we win. We do really well. So these are two things that we do more consistently this season coming up. Bam, we're gonna win. We're gonna win a lot. And like we won a lot last season, but this is stuff we could clean up. And one of the things about this game on December the 2nd was the Raptors shot really bad from the free throw line and they still won. So that is another area where they could easily clean things up and make things easier for themselves. It was a 4-point victory in the end. Fred leading them to it. Just really good stuff. Precious was really active and crazy. Like there were so many good plays by different people. 20 points by Siakam. He was real solid, shooting 50%, like really balanced, like on rebounds. We had like 3 guys with 8 rebounds, 1 guy with 7. Like Siakam, Gary, and Precious all had 8. Scotty had 7 rebounds. Fred had 5 himself. And then the assists really balanced once again with 3 guys getting 4 assists in the starting lineups. Fred, Scotty, Pascal. That point guard with 2 point forwards lineup all getting 4 assists each. That's 12 assists there. And then they had 3 from Gary and 3 from Svi. There was just really good sharing of the ball all around by the Raptors in this game. Like this is seriously a template, a game that the Raptors, if they could play more like this season, they'll have an easier time of winning games. So that's just what I wanted to say. They didn't have OG, they didn't have Cam, and the other side didn't have Giannis, and the Raptors won. They made sure they won. But a really big factor, once again, I'm going to say this, go watch this game because you had first half of the season, Fred VanVleet fully healthy, moving real good, driving the basket, making layups, hitting his threes like crazy. This is what I'm talking about, y'all. All right, let's see what's going on with you guys this morning. Monique's here. Good morning. Go Raptors. Go Raptors. Go Monique. I hope you're having a great Monday so far. Leslie, good to see you, Leslie and Hart. I still remember when Giannis came to Toronto and had a meet and greet with the Greek community in Toronto. That's cool. That's very cool. Yeah, Giannis is not a bad dude. He's a guy I really kind of have a lot of respect for. Like as one of the top stars, he may be a golden boy in some ways, but he really deserves it. The man is great for the game. He's a good young man. He is the kind of guy who plays the game right, as far as I'm concerned, for the most part. So I have a lot of love for him. And that is cool that he came to Toronto and did that. That was very early in his career, from what I remember. Monique saying Nick Nurse got emotional at the Jazz Festival yesterday. Wow. Okay. I want to know about this. I did not see any coverage of it or hear anything about it until Monique just told me, but I could see where that could happen. This Jazz Festival, he played last night around 8 at the place with the New Power Generation, Prince's old band, at the Jazz Festival here in Toronto last night. And they played Prince songs all night long. And you know what was so perfect about that concert? It started raining during that concert. And I'll bet that's when they put Purple Rain on and they started playing Purple Rain in the rain. And oh man, I'll bet that is when Nick Nurse got emotional. That's a huge accomplishment. That's a life dream. This is a man that probably listened to Prince in the 80s. And 35 years later, he's playing with his band, playing the man's songs on stage. I can totally understand why Nick Nurse got emotional last night. And I'm just glad that he's getting these kind of moments. The man is having just a charmed life. Let's just put it that way. And it's going to be so exciting this Friday. Team Canada versus Dominican Republic. So he may have had some fun last night, but this week is all business now, getting ready. And the roster, the guys who are available for the game on Friday has been announced. It's a little bit different than the whole roster. There are guys that are sitting out and won't play in these games this summer, like Jamal Murray and stuff like that. But there are other guys that will definitely be there, like Lou Dort and SGA. So it's going to be very interesting to see who exactly plays for Team Canada on Friday. I'll go over that closer to it. We'll do a day this week where we're talking about Team Canada for sure. Paul B saying Koloko is going to be a great fit. Can't wait to see Nick Nurse have fun with what we can do now. Paul B, good to see you. I'm glad you've been talking to me last couple of days. Sorry, you always catch me late at night when I'm like going to sleep and I'm like, and I go to bed. When Paul messages me about stuff about the Raptors sometimes. But yes, I totally agree with this. Christian got his jersey. It's on Instagram today. He's got a picture of it. He says blessed on it. 35. Christian Koloko. I'm serious about this, guys. I have a real big idea about what's going to happen with this big man. That Bobby Webster hinted at this before the draft. He says, I want to draft an all-star at 33 this year. And I think that he potentially might have, because listen, you do the eye test with this kid, you see the physicalness of him already with his size and muscle for being so young and what he can do out there. I think that this kid could be very special. And that we really hit it out of the park with Koloko and the fit he's going to have with the Raptors. This is going to be nasty. Like, I can't wait to see it try it out on the court and stuff like that. With people like Scotty Barnes and Pascal Siakam looking for targets out there, Koloko's going to be a real nice target near the basket. And I'm very excited about this. And it will be very interesting to see how Nick Nurse blends him into our system and how he wants to use him. Now, there's a big argument on Twitter, Raptors Twitter this weekend about Khem Birch and Koloko. And I want to put my 2 cents in on this right now and shut all these people up. See, listen, too many people have scarcity mindsets where they think it's not enough for everyone. Well, there is enough for everyone. They expand your mind and see that there is enough for everyone, whether it's in daily life or in that. It's a lie that they teach us to motivate us to go and do things for them, is that they teach us that everything is scarce and to worry and be worried about getting yours. It's because other people are going to get it from you if you don't. That's messed up. Sure, you got to go work and earn your stuff, but also there is enough for everyone when it gets right down to it. And this is what I'm going to say about Christian Koloko versus Khem Birch. And this is going to get right back to what I was saying 5 minutes ago. Veteran leadership. You got veteran leadership, time accrued on the court, time, experience, knowing what you're doing. That's Khem Birch. That is invaluable. That you don't toss the old player away because you get a young player that you drafted in. This is the way Nick Nurse does his big men, is a platoon. He has Precious. He has Chris Boucher. He has Khem Birch. He has Delano Banton. He brings them in at different times and puts different looks out there. Koloko is just going to be the latest look, and that he's going to be used very similarly to Precious, Boucher, Banton, and Birch. That these guys, the way that they came in last year, if you look at how they came in for different stints and he would try them in different places, some nights they didn't play as much individually. Some nights they played a lot. It's really kind of the matchup and how the things were going in the game. That's going to be the same thing with Koloko. Y'all got to understand this. He's not going to start. He's going to be off the bench, and he's going to be another look for us off the bench. It's like he can say, do I want to go with Precious right now, or do I want to go with Christian? And that's what it's going to be. It's going to be the same thing with Khem. Khem may get more chances to start just because of his experience, just because at the beginning of the game, he does a good defensive seal down low. Now, Christian has size, athleticism. He has youthful energy and stuff like that, but he doesn't have the experience, the true experience of being out there and banging with real NBA players yet. So you need Kem to be that guy and teach him. Teach him as a young player. This is what Oklahoma City lacks, what I'm talking about yesterday. They don't have a Kem Birch to teach these young people this kind of stuff in a lot of ways. So that's what I'm saying, y'all. It's important for us to have Kem Birch and Koloko, and that neither one of them is going to take away from each other. That if Raptors Twitter is all bent out of shape about Koloko versus Cam, just get over yourselves, because it's not that way. This is going to be just different looks, and you plug in whichever one is most important in the situation. Like if you need that leadership and that time to like shut people down, a proven defensive seal down low, you put Cam in, because Koloko may not be good, perfect on defense right away. That he may need to learn how to do his feet and where to stand and his positioning and stuff like that. And that we may have a learning curve with him, that you need the steadiness of the veteran presence of Cam Birch. So don't get it twisted, y'all. Just because Christian's on the scene all of a sudden doesn't mean Cam is disposable. So y'all need to really respect the NBA. Some of y'all Raptor fans that are on Twitter, you don't understand how the game is played or roster building or what is important for team building. Y'all are just like with the flavor of the week, the flavor of the month. You switch, you switch, you switch. Like you throw Fred out the window because of Scotty. You throw Cam out the window because of Koloko. Y'all need to stop this. That a good team in the NBA has a balance of youth and real potential, and a balance with veteran and experience. And that's what Fred and Cam are. And they're invaluable to our team. And I want them on our team for as long as possible. So talking about Cam and Koloko, they can coexist and they're going to get their minutes. And they may be similar. They may get the same amount of minutes. And I'm okay with that. Cam didn't get a super amount of minutes. He was in spot duty as needed. When in trouble, get Cam, put him in there. He can stop defensively, rebound really well. Stuff like that. Set some screens. Now, Koloko is going to give us a different look. He's going to give us the shot blocker. He's going to give us the opportunity to put somebody in a big body on guys like Jokic and Embiid and let him see how his length can deal with them better. So I just wanted to chime in on this because this seemed like a big, huge dumpster fire on Twitter yesterday with Raptors fans arguing about Cam versus Koloko. It's so stupid. Get over yourselves. They can both coexist and play and get good minutes. It's not like Koloko's going to come out there and get 30 plus minutes this year, y'all. So there's going to be time for both of them, and they'll get their spots. And Nick will get to play them like the piano. He'll press the keys of which player he wants out on the court in which lineup at different times. So just wanted to go over that a little bit real quick off of Paul B's statement about Koloko is going to be a great fit, and I completely agree. Chris comes here, the great Chris come. Let's see what he's predicting today. What's up, bro? What do you think about the KD for OG Gary and 3 first-round picks? Oh my gosh, that is, that's a pretty steep price. But in some ways, I'm like, really, when you put that name Kevin Durant in the sentence and the idea, this is one of the top 10 players in the recent past of all time. Yeah, I don't know if I could put him in the top 10 for sure of all time, but he's definitely the top 10 of all time recently. Now, yeah, you'd have to seriously think about this. Usually I'd say a hard no right away, but this is a really big seismic kind of move. And Criscom, I'd hate to do it, but if it was what Bobby and Masai think is the best move for us to win championships, then I would be all for it. But I don't know if it's necessarily the right move still. Like Kevin, I don't know. As long as Kevin's bought into being in Toronto and winning championships here, then yeah, we could do it. But if he's kind of like, and he's being a little weird, I know the guys around him are the ones that are being more weird, Harden and Irving, but he can be a little weird himself. And I don't want weird Kevin Durant. I want Kevin Durant that's driven to prove something, driven to say, hey, listen, I can get championships with other places. And that one, yeah, then I would possibly do this. But that's still very steep. We're giving away 2 good, very good players in first-round picks, 3 of them. Well, I mean, that's okay to me in a way because it's like those first-round picks, we don't need them anyway. We've proven that. But yeah, wow, Criscom, what a mind teaser you just gave me today. I'm not sure about this one. I'm pretty 50-50, and it really is like if Bobby sees this as being worth doing, and they do it, then because Kyrie's going to leave, and Kevin has been saying like I'll probably leave if Kyrie leaves, But then he's also kind of said, well, maybe I won't. I don't know what's going on with all that. We have to wait for the Kyrie domino to fall before any Kevin Durant speculation. Honestly, you got to see what's going to happen with Kyrie Irving, and then we can start speculating about Kevin Durant. But before that, it's too early, is what I'll say. Rahul's saying at Chriscom, even though I will like to make the trade, I'll be honest, I think it would maybe be a little bit more. Holy crap. Rahul, who got the new job in the Raptors GM office recently, he really knows his stuff because he's been paying attention. He says that we would have to give them more to get Kevin Durant. Holy crap. He thinks that they would want more. And he might be right, but I think that that's very fair, honestly, that the salary's right with those two guys, and then the picks. That's 3 first-round picks. Of course, they're not going to be getting early ones. They're going to be getting late round first, but still, I mean, Rahul might be right. They might laugh at that and say, well, we want more. I don't know if I want to go much more than that. See, and that's where it gets dicey. Is like, yeah, well, maybe we don't want to give you more than what Chriscom's saying, Brooklyn. So that's tough. Monique's saying the Summer League roster looking deep already. Monique has been posting stuff on her Facebook about all these Summer League players that we're bringing in. A lot of new names, a lot of different guys. Barcelo, he's a shooter. There's different dudes. I was kind of doing a little bit of research on different ones. I haven't really paid that close attention to them yet, but I'm going to do a deep dive on them soon, and we'll do a preview for Summer League before it starts. Trust me, I got to do something every day. I will definitely be doing something on that. And yeah, it's looking really good. Like, I like some of these names, and they're big time guys. Like, listen, Ron Harper Jr. is a winner. He is a baller. He's a big time personality, a good person. Like, there's pictures of him at Pearson on his Instagram this morning, and then he's in Toronto. He arrived last night. So Ron Harper Jr. is here in the 6 today, baby. He's taking in the sights and sounds, meeting with the officials of the Raptors and getting to know Raptors, Toronto Nation. First day in the Big 6. Ron Harper Jr., welcome to Toronto. We're glad you are here. Yes, we are. Rahul said, I know Raptor Freak would want to ruin to break up the young core. This is right. That's a big gamble. If you're going to do something like this, you better be getting a Kawhi Leonard. You better be getting a Kevin Durant, because I don't like breaking up the good vibes. I don't like breaking up the harmony. I don't like breaking up the happiness. And when you do huge moves like sending OG and Gary out of here, that's something you really risk, and you better be getting a lot in return and stuff like that. Rahul saying Koloko is similar to Jared Allen, but I think Koloko can space the floor. Koloko can do a couple different things. One of the things that's really underrated about Koloko, guys, and something we're going to really appreciate and love in his rookie season, he's just a good passer, guys. This is the thing. This isn't a big man that's normal. Like, it's not like he's a Sabonis, like Arvydas Sabonis passer, the father of Domitis. No, he is a good passer, though, because he can be in the low post, and he could be like about to go up with a post move, but then he'll pass it out real quick to a guard, and they'll shoot a 3. This is going to be something that's going to be very interesting to see this season. His passing out of the low post. So watch for that. Koloko has skills with passing, y'all. Like, he may be just as good as sharing the ball and passing the ball around as somebody like he'll be better than any of our other big men down low. Like, Precious won't pass it out usually from the post or anything. He'll just go straight up. Or Chris. This is a man who will see when he's making his move if he has a good play at the basket. If he doesn't, he will pass it out like real fast. So that's very interesting to me. Monique's saying he also wore number 35 at Arizona. No surprise. That's a good number for him. I like 35 for him. Boucher was 25. Koloko 35. Delano Banton 45. We got all these 5s, 5, 5, 5. Yeah, Christian Koloko. Let's go loco for Koloko, guys. All right, Leslie's saying, is Kyrie leaving Brooklyn? If so, is KD staying or leaving? Yeah, that's the big question. I think Kyrie is leaving Brooklyn. I think that Brooklyn doesn't want any more of his hot mess as far as like vaccine status and not playing half the games last season and just being an idiot. Like, I think they're tired of him, and that they don't want to give him a huge amount of money. They're like, oh, let's give him a bunch of money to make us disappointed. That's where they're at. So I don't think there's any way. And in fact, in the last 2 days, I've heard that Kyrie Irving and his relationship with the Brooklyn Nets front office has turned acrimonious. that they are not they're not in harmony, they're not happy, they're not going to work it out. Like this may be similar to the Aiton and Phoenix situation right now, that the door's been closed and there's no way of going back, and that Kyrie is at odds with them at first now at this point. There's some talk about him being in a sign and trade, though, that they'll work with him to sign him to a deal, but immediately trade him to another team. And that's probably most likely what's going to happen. And the Lakers are very much lusting after this. And that if they can make it line up and have him come there. But some of the people are saying that it's not realistic for the Lakers. The Lakers can't really do the right kind of deal to make it happen. And what they want to send Brooklyn isn't necessarily what they want. There's other teams that have a better shot, apparently. And one of them is Miami. Miami could put a package together with a sign and trade with Brooklyn to get Kyrie themselves. So that's kind of some of the murmurs I'm hearing right now. And if Kyrie leaves, that's what Kevin said before, that if Kyrie's not here, I don't want to be here either. But this is the kind of thing, Kevin could change his mind and be like, well, maybe I will try and stay here with whatever they bring back from Kyrie and with Ben Simmons coming in to try and play with him at the beginning of the season. I don't know. It could be, though, that Kevin's out the door once Kyrie's out, too. I could very much see that. That's kind of what he's been saying. That's why all the Raptor fans are saying he's coming here, is because they know Kyrie's gone and Kevin wants to leave after him. So Monique's saying, I've been thinking of Chris Boucher lately. What's going to happen with Koloko on the team now in the good battles? Yeah. Listen, I really want Chris to resign. This morning, he posted something on his Instagram where he's happy, he feels blessed and stuff like that. We got to get him back, Bobby. Don't mess around with Chris. Don't think, listen, this is one of the things I hated about the Raptors roster the last couple of years. We never have had depth at the big guy position. We've always had one or two big guys, and that's it throughout the whole roster. I want to have 3 or 4 or 5 big guys. So that's why I want to re-sign Chris Boucher and keep him with Koloko, Cam Birch, Precious Achua. We need this kind of bulk and size up front, especially if we're not going to have totally centers. Koloko's a real center. We do have a real center now, finally. But I still want to have this kind of depth at the 5 and 4 position. And I think that it's very valuable in this league where there's injuries. We miss guys. We missed Kem for a lot of the season last year, and it hurt us. So let's not get rid of Chris just because we got Koloko. We need the depth with the big guys up front. So I want Boucher back. And it will be fun to see. Once again, Chris is another vet who knows more on the court. So in some ways, he's more dependable than Christian Koloko will be at the beginning of the season. That Chris has a lot of experience. He's learned a lot playing for the Raptors. So that's another reason why you want to have different looks. You've got Kem with his certain look. You know the differences between Birch and Boucher. We've seen them. Well, now we'll have Koloko with another whole kind of look. Achua with his look. That's the thing. We want versatile, different looks, but very kind of fits our system kind of guys, but different little things they bring and stuff like that. So Monique's saying, yes, Lex, the negative on Kem is sad. I agree. There's no reason to sewer Kem right now. Kem is a Canadian. Kem is a Raptors fan as a child. He is a man who came to Air Canada Center as a kid and watched Raptor games with his dad. He's a real one. Y'all need to have more respect for real ones on this team, whether it's Fred VanVleet, Cam Birch, DeMar DeRozan, whoever it was. These people bleed purple and red. These people bleed our Raptor colors, and that we need to respect them and honor them instead of putting them down and saying, you're useless now. I hate this. So any of you Raptor fans, you're not Raptor fans if you're negative and talking down our guys or insulting our guys for no reason. It's the middle of the summer, y'all. Get outside and have some fun and stop wasting your time putting down Cam Birch. There's no reason to do that. Mar Smith's here. Good to see Mar. I see her quite often. KD trade is tempting as long as he doesn't try to bounce around. Yeah, it is very tempting. Listen, he could get another championship with us. This could be a very similar kind of thing to 2019. And this is the thing. Kevin's more likely to want to resign and go for more if he gets one in Toronto, not like Kawhi. That's the thing. We may want to make this deal. That, listen, you put him on a team with Scotty Barnes and Fred VanVleet, look out. That's going to be nasty. Pascal Siakam still too. That is nasty. If we can do that trade that Chris Gum said earlier, that would be a very nasty Raptor team. The Kevin Durant brings a whole other unstoppableness to our team. And listen, he'd be getting coached by Nick Nurse, so he'd be getting utilized and put in the right positions and right situations where he wouldn't, like last couple seasons in Brooklyn. Kevin's had to overwork himself. He's had to do way too much. He's had to carry that team so hard on his skinny shoulders. And if he came to Toronto, it'd be a lighter load for him. He'd have more talent around him to carry things for him and help him. And he'd have an easier time winning. He'd have an easier time during the regular season, and he'd be ready for the playoffs big time. So, yeah, I think it is very, and when you say bounce around, you mean like come here and then go somewhere else immediately. That's the thing. If he comes here, I think he would stick and try and win many championships. Because listen, he's got to catch up on Steph and beat him. He's got to catch up on LeBron and beat him, and the clock is ticking. So, Mr. Durant, if you want your best opportunity, it may be with your childhood favorite team. So, yeah, you better think about it, and we'll see if it all lines up and works that way. Once again, this is way hypothetical. This is a couple of steps too early to talk about this. We got to see what happens with Kyrie first, and then we'll see what happens with Kevin. Kilimanjaro saying the new Raptor fans want the Raptors to be bottom feeders like a bunch of teams that get high draft picks but don't go anywhere with all this trade talk. Yes, Kilimanjaro, talking about what I was talking about yesterday. Get a whole bunch of high draft picks all the time, but they go nowhere. They don't do anything because they have a bunch of kids that don't know who to lead, how to lead each other, and they don't have any kind of roadmap to how to win in the NBA. So, yeah. And Kilimanjaro's right. Like sometimes I wonder if these people are even really Raptor fans. We've got to realize that in today's world of social media and stuff, there's imposters, there's trolls, there's people that act like other people, and they come in and they try to put out disinformation or bullshit or just like things that cause problems. They're like little gremlins, little tricksters. They come in there, and it could be that these are fans of other teams, like the Celtics. They're coming in and trying to cause dissension by acting like Raptor fans online and just saying the most absurd crap and putting it out there and trying to get more rise out of it. Like there's some people right now that are suing Scotty this weekend. I don't even understand it. Why there's anti-Scotty people. Well, obviously they're not Raptor fans. Any Raptor fan that's suing Scotty at this point, you're crazy because this is the future. This is our golden guy. And, listen, these are probably our other fans coming in and trying to cause cracks in our fandom and our franchise and our hive mind of how we feel about our team and stuff. We kind of realize that this is a huge weapon used in society these days. Is the power of perception and belief, and what you believe is what is like we see it on full display in regular life. In basketball, it can happen too. Like I do this, I'm not gonna lie. I sewer the other team stuff and put them down on purpose online. But I'm apparently a Raptor fan. But there may be people who come in and act like there's somebody else, and they may be a fan of another team. We got to realize this, guys. Like, really realize this. If somebody's going to say certain things about the Raptors, they're not really fans, even if they say they are. That's what I'm saying. The people that are so destructive and toxic about being Raptor fans, they're either not really Raptor fans, they're fans of other teams that are in wolves in sheep clothing, or they're people that are dumb and they're new to the game, just like Kilimanjaro is saying. People that just saw the championship, they think they know something about basketball. They've been watching basketball for maybe 2 or 3 years, and they think they know it all at this point, and they're putting these asinine opinions out there that are absolutely stupid. And I think that there's a combination of both happening here and stuff like that. So Monique's saying, Dr. Masai sounds great, doesn't it? We have so many doctors. Like, well, we need to open a clinic or something. We got Dr. Nurse, Dr. Griffin, Dr. Ujiri, Dr. Barnes someday. I bet you it's going to be a Dr. Barnes. Yeah, there'll be a Dr. Barnes. Shane Waters is here. Happy Monday, Freak fam. I'm a lurk on my way to work. Yes, Shane Waters on the Twitch stream with us the other day on Saturday. It's good to see a friendly face in Scotty's Twitch with me. Shane Waters showing up in the Twitch saying, "What up, Raptor Freak?" and saying, "What up?" right back to Shane. And just fun. More and more you guys come into the Twitch stream with us, with Scotty and us, and better. I love having this community bleed over into his community, and we can be there, and you can help me police and regulate the other fans coming in and trying to tell Scotty to come play for their team. That's what I'm doing on Twitch now. I'm like a defensive guard for the Raptors organization, an information guard on his stream and messing with them. Let's see. G's here. G's saying players like Fred have given players like Ron a lot of confidence in themselves. Yeah, Fred coming up as being undrafted, he is a great blueprint for Ron Harper Jr. and what he will try and accomplish with his career. And I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to tell you right now, if Fred VanVleet can do it, I think Ron Harper can do it too. I think for some reason, there's something about Ron Harper Jr. that's telling me, you guys remember this, that I'm saying this before we even seen him in a Raptor jersey on a court, that Ron Harper Jr. for some reason is going to become a regular pro in this league, that he's going to make it, that he's going to overcome being a two-way player on our G League team this year, and he's going to make a spot for himself. One of the things that's really weird about Ron that I'm noticing from clips of him is that he plays very similar to Scotty in some ways. Like, he has these wide shoulders. He's like a little bit of a minier Scotty in some ways. He has these wide shoulders, and he really uses his bulk and his muscle in his game. Like, he'll bump guys off of him to get open in the basket, just like Scotty does with his low post stuff. And then also the way he plays defense. I said this a couple of days ago too. He's very reminiscent of Scotty, very attentive, very up on it, like ahead of the game, like very much involved and into his defense and right up on the guy he's defending. That I've seen a lot of the same kind of body mannerisms in Ron Harper Jr. from Scotty Barnes. So they have a similar body type. And that is going to be very interesting to see how that works with everything. He's a very physical player, Ron Harper Jr. And that if he can shoot and he has that physicalness, he's going to have a spot in the NBA. Trust me. And I really do. I'm going to predict this right now. I'll say I'm making bold predictions. It's the offseason. It's the middle of the season. And this is when I do it. Ron Harper Jr. is going to become a pro in the NBA. He's going to stick and he's going to have a career, y'all. I'm going to tell you that right now. It may not be as good as Fred VanVleet's, but he's going to do better than other guys that are on two ways in the recent years. That he is, I'm going to say it right now, and that Chet Holmgren is a bust. Those are my two bold predictions so far this summer, is that Ron Harper Jr. is going to make the NBA, and Chet Holmgren is going to be a bust. He's going to be a bust. Oh, yeah. David's here. Good morning to David. Always good to see David S. Monique's saying, I think I'm more hyped with Harper Jr. and Koloko so far. You know, listen, these two guys are coming up. They're special. And I think they really could be rotation players for the Raptors this season. Like, we know Koloko is going to get in the rotation at different times this season. He'll get real heavy 905 minutes. And I'd like to see him be Defensive Player of the Year in the 905 league, or even MVP of the G League this year. This is the kind of goal I want for Christian Koloko this season. That I want him to dominate the G League so much that they make him the Defensive Player of the Year, just like Chris Boucher won it, and maybe even possibly MVP of the G League also. So I want him to get heavy minutes down there and absolutely kill it. He's a second-round pick. He should be down there getting as much time as possible. And he's young, so he'll be able to do both. But we'll see him get good rotation minutes on our squad also on the main roster. But this is the weird thing. We're going to see something from Ron Harper Jr. I think he's going to bust out, and he's going to have such a good game that he's going to end up having to be on the main roster in the rotation by the end of the year. This is another bold. That's part of my bold prediction, that he's going to be so good as far as a scorer and a shooter for us that Nick is going to be like, we want him on our main roster and in the rotation. And it may be that he's not that much like heavy minutes, but he'll definitely be a bench guy that comes in and that will be dependable. I'm really predicting this. I think Ron Harper is going to be dependable. He's not going to be like the bench guys we had last year. He's going to come in and he's going to be dependable and productive right away. So any of you new fans of the Raptors from Rutgers Nation, New Jersey, welcome. We welcome you to Raptor Nation. I hope you found my channel and you come watch me every day because we'll talk about this. We believe in your kid from Rutgers. And I really do believe he's going to make the league and he's going to be in our rotation by the end of the year, just from what I'm looking at already. Chris comes saying, trust me, that KD trade sounds tempting. I said no right away, mostly because OG is one of my favorite players and expecting big things from him. And 3 first-round picks sounds like a lot, but we don't need those late 20 picks anyway. Yeah, if we can keep winning, late 20 picks are the same as early second round picks. We've proven that just now. That we're going to be a winning team. We want to be a winning team. We don't want to sewer ourselves over and over again like these other teams and just get high draft picks and go nowhere. Exactly what Kilimanjaro was saying, or somebody was saying earlier. That's exactly what you do when you do this. You just get the same picks over and over again, and you get nowhere because the youth don't know what they're doing. They're like all over the place. So it is very tempting. And like, this is the one big name out of all the big names in the league right now that I like still. And I think he's very productive and important and could help win a championship here in Toronto is Kevin Durant. I won't go near Russell Westbrook. I won't go near James Harden. I won't go near LeBron James. But Kevin Durant, I will go near as far as being in a Raptor red. Oh yeah, he's somebody I would like to see in our jersey at some point in his career still. And even if it's a little bit of steep price, we're going to get Larry O'Brien's. I'm all about it. Jordan's saying, I think a tall 7-foot passer would be great for us, kind of like what Jokic contributes and Gasol did for us, being able to scout the floor in the middle of the 3 line. Yeah, Jordan, this is a side that nobody's really talking about with Koloko, that he has really great vision and that he is a passer as a big guy, that he may be able to get some good pass. I don't know if he'll be on the level of Marc Gasol or Arvydas Sabonis, but yeah, or Jokic. Jokic is another one. Those 3 guys are 3 of the greatest passing big men in the history of the game. Sabonis, Jokic, and Gasol. But he is definitely in the middle between like on average like center and the way they do stuff. There's Koloko, and then there's those big names that I just named as far as passing. He's not the average like non-passing center. He is a passing center, Koloko. We're just gonna have to see how much is utilized and stuff like that. Let's see. Monique saying, now I have Twitch. Now, how have Twitch been, Lex? Well, he wasn't on yesterday. He was on Saturday for like an hour. He wasn't on very long. He's playing his end game card again, his 99 rated end game card. Scotty Barnes is who we're talking about on Twitch. He was playing it and he scored 47 in the game on Saturday. Holy crap. He's played 2 games with his badass card now. He's won both of them. 37 points in the first game, 47 in the second game on Saturday. Wow, Scotty. And he's really enjoying it. And you know what? All right, listen. On his Instagram yesterday, he got a new computer. We've been bugging him on the stream. People come in and say, you need to play on PC. Why are you playing on PlayStation 5, Scotty? Get on PC. And there was a guy who builds PCs that was in there. WR Builds is the name of the company. And like, listen, seriously, I'll put his name out and do advertising for him because he did Scotty a solid. You go look at his Instagram and you will see the computer that he built him. And I don't know if he charged him. He just sent it to him. I was there the day in the Twitch when WR Builds showed up and he said, hey, Scotty, you need a new computer. I'm going to send you a new computer. And I saw him say that in the thing. He said, give me your information. I'll send it to you. Well, he did. He sent him a new computer this weekend, and it is badass. It's like WR Builds makes custom computers. Like he builds the computer, but he also builds the outside of the container of the computer, and he built a custom computer that has Scotty on it, like a picture of him and like Raptors logo and like in red, and it's just really cool. It's like big Forbes, big Roy on it and stuff like that. It's like a special one of a kind PC that this man built for Scotty, for him to game on. So he didn't get on with that new gaming system. He's probably got to orient himself with the machine and get to know it and stuff like that and cross over and stuff like that. But Scotty's going to be on PC soon, and it's a really nice PC. Go to his Instagram. You can take a look at it. And seriously, that dude is smart. WR Builds, that if you're going to give a free computer to Scotty Barnes that looks like that, you're going to get business. You are going to get business because people are going to see this and they're going to see the great work you did. And I'm plugging you here right now, WR Builds. So yeah, great job. And I'm so happy for Scotty to have a new PC that looks so nice. So there's your Twitch update, really, Monique. I don't know. He probably will be on today. I'm going to guess that Scotty will be on today sometime between 5 and 9 o'clock tonight. That's usually around when he jumps on and stuff like that. And it may be today is the day he'll be back on. He's like every other day, as he put it. He likes to be on every other day. He was on Saturday. He wasn't on yesterday. So he should be on today. Raps Love is here. Good to see Raps Love. If we can get KD and keep Pascal and Scotty, do it immediately. Yeah, I think that's a good rule right there. Like, and that's the deal that Chriscom said. It's OG and Gary in the deal. And I hate that. That's steep. That is steep. But look at what's coming back. And I think I might have to agree with Raps Love that if we can keep Pascal, Scotty, and Freddie with Kevin Durant, whoa, look out. And there are going to be other guys, obviously, too, like Koloko and Precious and other guys that aren't involved in the deal. That this team would be so nasty, so nasty. Peter S. is here. Good to see Peter. Durant is under contract for the next 4 years. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. If he's under contract, if we get him and he stays here for 4 years and we pay him a lot of money, listen, we'll figure it all out. Let's see. Monique saying, how cool is this? Koloko and Harper are following me on Instagram in just a few days, join the Raptors. That is awesome, Monique. Congratulations. You have the 2 young rookies following you. Oh, man. All right. Well, you need to do a shout out and get them over to me. Do it, please, because I want them to hear how passionate and how loyal and how positive Raptor fans can be. Other than these Raptor fans that came on Twitter and attacked Ron Harper for his old tweets about the Raptors and stuff like that, which were actually very nice tweets, but the fan was like, oh, you guys are overstepping. Don't go messing with this man like this and stuff like that. But that is fantastic, Monique. It's such a great age that we live in, that we can go and watch Scotty on Twitch, and then we are on social media, and the players are involved with us, like following you. That's badass. I'm so proud of you. And that's really cool. Really cool. Just like the other guys are saying, that's so cool. Leslie's saying, KD is a different type of guy. I know this sounds crazy, but KD would fit in Toronto. He is a hard worker and a straight up baller. Yeah, I agree with this, Leslie. This is not like, he's not the kind of guy like LeBron. He doesn't try and control everything. He can sit back and let other people do other things and fit in with it. He's not like Harden, where we're wondering how much he really cares. It's not like Kyrie, where he's like half the time absent. This guy is really dedicated, and he is a hard worker, and he is a really good player and stuff like that. And I think he would fit in really well here. The fans are so funny on Twitter, how they're soliciting him and trying to recruit him. They're sending him stuff like, well, if you hate the media in Brooklyn, our media in Toronto is much nicer. And they're like giving him all these kind of reasons for why he should come to Toronto and stuff like that. So Monique's saying, does Adrian Griffin's daughter, make it to the WNBA, you think? I don't know. I don't know enough about her, but I mean, if the rest of the Griffins are on the rise, then maybe Alan Griffin, Adrian Griffin Jr. just got drafted by Atlanta. Yeah, she plays for UConn. Well, if she plays for UConn and she's a good player, she'll probably be in the WNBA. UConn's been one of the greatest women's basketball programs in the United States for so long. How many, like 20, 30 years? They're a powerhouse. They won so many national championships. So UConn players have pedigree. And yeah, I think she probably will be in the WNBA. Let's see. Monique saying, I wonder what Wendy thinks of the sadness on Kem via Twitter. Listen, I haven't even read it myself, so I couldn't specifically argue against it. If they're just coming down on him and being wrong, then they need to shut up. And listen, maybe I should go in there and start regulating, talking to some people and setting them straight as far as like Kem Birch and what he brings. This is the thing. Kem gets so maligned. I know he was hurt a lot last season, but you remember at the beginning of last season how much I talked about how important he is to the Raptors. He's the closest thing to a center last year. He's like really our best defensive stopper near the basket. He's the kind of guy you want to start for maybe the first 5 minutes of the game, just to establish physical presence down low and establish things for our team. And there's so many good things about him. It's just dumb NBA fans, dumb fans that don't understand the game, that don't understand the powers and gifts that he brings to our team, as far as like his screens, as far as his rebounding, as far as his defensive positioning, as far as his like really unselfish team play with his teammates and stuff. Kem is such a good pro, and they're idiots. They just need to shut up. So maybe like the people that are talking down Kem Birch, just unfollow them. Just go away from them. Like, that's the way I look at it. If somebody's too negative about the Raptors and they cover the Raptors and you're getting a bad feeling from them talking about the Raptors in a certain way, just stop following them. That's what I say. It's like if I was doing a negative Raptors channel, and like the opposite of what I'm doing now is Bizarro Raptor Freak, and I was just always critical of them and always putting them down and saying, and like that, that kind of dad that tries to get their kid motivated by just treating them like crap. No, you guys wouldn't want to watch that because it's a downer, it's depressing, so anybody who's like that with their social media presence when they talk about the Raptors, I just say cut them off, block them, mute them, whatever you got to do, and just get that noise out of your head. Because honestly, if they've proven that they don't really have any kind of basketball acumen as far as understanding why Ken Burch is a vital, important player on the Raptors, that you don't need to be following them. Is what I'll say at this point. Tom Duke saying, I tried to gift you Twitch subscriptions, but I wasn't allowed. So then I saw Shane was in there, so I got him and me subbed up. Good stuff, Tom. I'm glad you guys are doing that. I still do not understand this subscription stuff. I want to do it because I want this shout out from Scotty when you do it. He's like, when you put in the thing, he says, "Oh, big ups to Toronto number 42. Thanks for subscribing." He'll say it when you do it, but I don't know how to do it. Like I'm technically inept. I can do enough of everything online, but when I go a little bit out of my bounds, I don't know what I'm doing on Twitch yet. I got to figure it out. But I'm going to do a subscription at some point, hopefully at some time. So Monique saying, anyone noticed Kem took himself off social media? Well, he's done this from time to time, Monique. I'm not going to lie. The players do this all the time. Like they'll do this from time. I've seen DeMar take himself off social media from time to time. Kem was off social media earlier this season. In fact, he closed his account for a second, but maybe it's once again, he's doing it again because of all the stupid noise that's out there right now. I hate this. I hate this so much. And you know what this means? He's going to get a Share the Love Club very soon because I do not like this. In fact, we might have to do him this Saturday because, listen, we need to show that there is a huge proponent of the Raptors fan nation that really loves and supports Kem. If there's this bad, ugly minority of it that's out there causing all this problem right now. So Share the Love Club. I'm going to call it right now. It's going to be Kem Burch this week, because we need to share the love for Kem Burch and overpower this. And I'm going to hashtag the hell out of him on there, and hopefully he will see how much we do really love him, stuff like that. Tom Duke saying, even though I never catch him there, I felt a few bucks thrown at Scotty was well spent. Too old to know what am I doing, what I'm doing. You and me both, Tom. Listen, we are aged out on a lot of technology and stuff. As much as we learn, they make it user-friendly and it just makes sense how to work it, then maybe we can do stuff, but otherwise, if it's too complicated, we may be like this is the whole thing with me and Snapchat. I'm like, I do not understand Snapchat. I do not understand TikTok. Shane Waters saying that, Tom, first Raptors game we watched, drinks on me. Awesome. DC Raptor Freak Club in the house. Getting together, going to go watch the game together. Yes, sir. I love it. All right, let me look at my list and see if I covered everything. Yeah, all right. I guess the main focus and point of my stream today with covering the Milwaukee game on December the 2nd is that leadership on a team in the NBA is important. That some reason the last couple of years in the NBA, we've been aging out guys too young. Like some of the vets aren't making it into their higher vet years, and we're going very heavy on the youth and experience, talent and potential, not experience. That there's some players in this league that are essential and important to build a good team. You need experience. You need guys who have won consistently in the league and know what it takes night in, night out, like Fred VanVleet, like Kem Burch. And that you can't just have all rookies, all like first, second, and third year players like Oklahoma City and understand how to win automatically. You have to learn the way there, and it's hard, and it's growing pains, and sometimes it takes years. So that's what I'm saying. We got to value our vets on our team, that they're a part of the continuity that allows us to be a high-level playoff team year in, year out. Fred VanVleet and Kem Burch are absolutely essential to this. So if you're any of these Raptor fans putting down either of those two names that I just said, you need to shut up because you don't know what you're talking about. Fred is worth a contract extension, the money he gets paid, and Kem Burch is a very valuable, loyal Canadian former Raptors fan as a kid on our team, and he needs that respect for that also. that if he's a real one, since he was a kid, he drives 6 hours from Montreal with his dad to come to Toronto to go to a Raptors game in the early 2000s as a kid. Then you know what? We need to respect Cam Birch a little bit better, Raptors Nation. You need to do a better job, is what I'm saying right here. West Coast Freaks. Yeah, let's go, Tom Duke. Wow. Leslie saying social media is great, but it can be so toxic. I want to have meaningful conversations without being mean and hateful to people. Yes, Leslie. And I'm sure that's part of the reason why you really like this channel and watching it, is because this is what we're trying to have meaningful conversations here and not just be sewering and negative and pessimistic and putting us down and chicken littling and saying, oh, we're going to be horrible this year. Like any Raptor fan who's coming into the season coming up and they're going to say, we're going to be a horrible team, we need to tank and get a lottery pick, they're idiots, because we're ready to win. And that's what Nick Nurse wants to do right now. We're ready to win. We are not messing around to just go out there and just play. We want to win. And that they need to realize this. Tom Duke saying, share the love and positivity every day. Said by Scotty Roy and shown by Lex. That's right. I take my direction from Gary Trent Jr. and Scotty Barnes, that they said that there needs to be more love in this world, and that I am a vessel of distributing that even more so in the Raptors Nation. All right, we're getting into a nice little normal wrap up time. I really do hope that you guys fight the good fight for Cam right now. That if there are forces out there that are beating him down, social media and stuff like that, let's set them straight. Let's say nah, wait a second. Hold yourself here. What you're saying about Cam ain't fair or right in the first place. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all. Tomorrow, second game of the second season of Raptor Freak Trivia. I'm not even sure. I haven't written it yet. I'm going to get the topic together and figure it out. There'll be good questions. I'll do it this afternoon, and I'll post it up for tomorrow. So if you want to play trivia, Raptors Trivia tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. You know it. Tuesday trivia. G is in the lead still, but we have some good competition. Peter S is coming in, and he's coming to play. David S, you guys both need to be in there fighting each other, your brothers. And Tom Duke is a contender. Look out for Tom Duke, Raymond Jacob, all you guys. I know how you guys do it. G is in the lead. Yeah, in the first game of the season, he killed it. Once again, he always does this. He killed it in the first game of the season. Yeah, you're going to go back and count. No, you were second. You're a strong second. Don't worry, David. You're a strong second. Strong second. Yeah, see, Cam is the perfect mentor for Koloko, period. Exactly. You think Koloko's just going to learn how to play in the NBA? He needs somebody there to show him. It's like part of why Precious got better last season is because of Cam. Cam and Precious are like best friends. And Cam is teaching him all of his veteran knowledge and leadership kind of stuff. That Precious got better because of Cam's presence next to him. You don't think he's going to help Koloko the same way? Oh, my gosh. Thank you, Monique. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for being here with me. I'll be back tomorrow. Please hit the subscribe button if you enjoy my content. And let's go, Raptors. Be good to Cam. Fight the good fight for Cam. And welcome Ron Harper Jr. to Toronto. I hope you have a great day here in the 416, sir. And go enjoy the OVO Center. Check it out. Maybe you'll meet Scotty Barnes. Maybe you'll meet OG Anunoby and Delano Banton. Yeah. Woo! Let's go, Raptors. Whoa, whoa, whoa.